Okay, looks like we're live. Hopefully we're coming through loud and clear. How you all doing, everybody out there? Hope you've had a great week. There's been a lot of running done this week. A lot of hard work done this week, even though it was a week off. Not entirely sure how that happened. If I'm coming through okay, let me know in the stream, guys, in the chat. We've got lots of people here already. We've got Curtis Lost. He was in before the start of the stream, so big ups to Curtis Lost. We've got Steve A. Main man, Steve A. Thanks for joining us tonight, Steve. Joe Mullins here. Joe, as always, I'm sorry I didn't get to do the stream yesterday. I've had to sort of shift things around and sort of weigh up whether it's okay doing the stream a little earlier. We're going to lose a load of people. I know Kafuzi and also I think Seth has been doing some streams a little earlier, mainly due to the fact that we've lost an hour here. Or we gained an hour? Gained an hour in the UK, so the clocks go back, and I don't quite understand how it all works. Something to do with farms or something. I don't know. Who knows? But I've had to weigh up whether I do the stream a little earlier, and I think it's worth doing. So if you guys enjoy it, then all good. Who have we got in? We got Chris McLean is here. Hello. We got Taj is here in the house. Adam Small is here. We also have Chris McLean says plenty of wet weather running test opportunities at the moment. It is really windy outside right now. Somebody in the comments was asking why I'm wearing the hat. It's actually quite chilly here in the shoe sanctuary. That video's really gone off, actually. That video is insane, the number of views that we've had on that. Just in like an hour. I think it's about an hour ago I published it. And it's really done well. So everybody's into the future running shoes. We're all interested in what's going to happen. Maybe just gives people a little bit of a light in the future, you know, to aim for and look forward to and get excited about. Things are kind of, it's almost like we're treading water a little bit, isn't it, at the moment? But got to keep on training, got to keep on running, keep on eating healthily, and make sure that when things do get back to some semblance of normality, that we are ready, and there's going to be some serious PR destruction. That's what's going to happen. We've got Stevie76 is here, Andrea is here, and we've got James as well. Jason Q says hello. Dave is here. We have Mike Gamba. He's in Tennessee. I bet the weather's better in Tennessee than it is here, Mike. It's about, I think it must be 10 degrees C out there now, and the wind is just howling around out there. I was going to pop out and do a little 3-mile sort of recovery effort, but I'm not sure I want to do that. I think I just want to get a nice mug of hot chocolate, Mike, and just sit there and watch a film. Maybe an old black and white film, something like that. Lee Sumner, Lee Sumner is here. He says, good evening, Ed. Good evening, Lee. Steve is here. He says, evening, just finished watching the 2021 vid. Lots of shoes to buy. There's some real good ones coming out, I tell you what. God, it just got me quite excited making that video. Looking at those shoes that are going to be coming after Christmas. You know, some exciting times there. Always exciting to try out a new version of a shoe you've really enjoyed as well. Like, for example, I think I've put it away now. I've put it away already because I've shifted everything around for the wet weather shoes. But the Rebel was a real favourite of mine, and I'm really glad that there's a new version of that coming out. Although I've got to be honest, it's a real overhaul. Let's hope that it is as good and as nimble and lightweight as the Rebel was, the original. We have, Dave says, in upstate New York. Awesome. That's a place I will be coming to once we're allowed to travel around and do all that kind of stuff again. Michael's here. He says, hello, Ed. Hello, Michael. And Chris, the running guy, is here. Hello, everybody. Hello, Chris. Joe Mullin says, Vaporfly 2s. And he's only just got his first pair. Enjoy that first pair. Wear them into the ground, Joe. Just get out there and enjoy them. That's what they're for, you know. Jason Q says, by the way, is it me or does everyone feel this way? Wind bothers me a lot more than the temperature. Oh, the wind was ridiculous today, Jason. I set out, I was going to just stay in the threshold sort of zone for as long as I could, really, which was about 10 miles today. That's all I had in the tank. And it wasn't the rain, it wasn't the sort of chilly temps, it was the wind. I got up to one section which is quite near an airfield. The place where I live is very famous for the manufacture of helicopters. There's a big airfield up there, and the wind was, I think it said it was 26 miles an hour today, which heading straight into it. It always seems to move as well, so it's going towards me wherever I change direction. It's just moving around, so that was punishing today. And I was quite happy to hit 10 miles. I just said, that's it. I'm checking out here. I'm not doing any more. But some good effort in there in terms of aerobic base. So I'm really pleased with that today. I'm tired now, I have to be honest, but I'm pleased with the effort. Yeah, Rebel 2's in that vid. I think everyone's going to be excited with that one. Trevor's here. Trevor Cross. Hello, Trevor. Ben, in Ed we trust. Thanks for tuning in, Ben. Madrid guy says congratulations to the Arsenal. Yes, a good win today. 1-0. A bit tight. Arsenal the better team in that game. Manchester United just really didn't get an awful lot together until the very end, where they brought Cavani on as well and sort of loaded the box and just smashed the ball upfield. But Arsenal played well, and El Neni played really well as well, the Egyptian international. He was superb. Really good win, that one. First time we've won, I think, since Old Trafford it's for donkey's years. I can't remember the last time we won there, in fact. So it's a good win today. I'm really pleased with that. In fact, since my little lad's appeared, Fergus, he's a bit of a lucky charm. Whenever he's around, there's an Arsenal game. They always play well, so he's a lucky charm, that boy. He's got the gift of the gab as well. He's making a lot of noise, that guy. Oh dear, there's going to be a lot of noise going off in a minute. Someone's releasing fireworks very nearby. And our little dog does not like fireworks. He gets really upset. He thinks we're like under attack or something. So if you can hear some explosions in the background, don't worry. It's not Mrs. EDDBUD blowing up shoes or anything like that. It's fireworks that are going on out there. Roger L says, is the midsole the same for the Vaporfly 2? I'm pretty sure the midsole is the same. There's no differences there. I think they've hit upon a winning formula there, and I don't think they're going to change it around too much. So what else we got here? As Anne says, shoes are life. Absolutely. James says, wet leaves on the pavement are the biggest running hazard. Yeah, today I used the Vaporflies, and they were absolutely fantastic. What I'll say, in the wet conditions, loads of leaves everywhere, and could be quite slippery, but they performed really well. Give them a real clean, actually, a real in-depth clean, because they were absolutely coated in mud everywhere. So just got to let them dry off a little bit now. But they were really great in the wet weather today on the leaves. There's about a 2-mile section where it's just completely covered in leaves. What else we got here? Roger L says he still has a new Rebel that he got for $50 that he has to use. I'll use those up, Roger. Or you could keep them, you know, and there's probably going to be a Rebel collector at some point that doesn't want the new ones and that only want the older variety. Asan says, greetings from Vancouver Island in Canada. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Steve A says, a stellar year for shoe releases and for all the non-Nike suppliers. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, it certainly is, as to what they come up with. It looks like Nike really don't see this that much in terms of competition, really, to not even bother updating the midsole and the outsole there. It looks the same, so they're just sticking with the same setup there, just a different upper, perhaps an even lighter upper. which could be great. Maybe to improve the feel on the foot, perhaps a little bit of durability as well on the upper. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole plethora of other manufacturers and shoes. I've been enjoying the Hyperion Tempo recently. Sorry, the Hyperion Elite 2, sorry. I got out again for another run in these. I'm liking the very light nature of them. I'm liking the upper. It's one that's starting to bed in a little bit now. The midsole's starting to free up a little bit. It was extremely stiff after the first couple of runs, but that one's getting much better. And, bizarrely, was incredibly good in the wet weather. I don't know whether it's something to do with the rubber, the minimal amount of rubber. You wouldn't expect it to be with this exposed midsole here, but it did really, really well in terms of wet weather traction. So that was a good one. Nicholas is here from Toronto. Hello, thanks for tuning in. Per is here. He says hello from the far cold Norwegian. Yeah, I bet it's cold there. I can't complain here, Per. I bet this is mild compared to perhaps some of the temperatures you guys have got right now. Aidan says, Ed, do you have any trail shoes for the mud? I've got a few trail shoes. I'm not a massive trail shoe guy, but the ones I've got I really like. I've got the Innovate Terra Ultra G270. Really enjoy that one. I'm probably going to do a little bit of trail stuff this week, lower pace, just to get off of the concrete and the road for a little while and get onto some softer conditions and terrain. Help the legs recover a little bit. But that's one I really enjoy, and I recommend you check that one out if you can get your hands on a pair. John's Conscious Life. He's in Nova Scotia, Canada. Where EDDBUD livestream doesn't cost you a single Earth credit. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. If you're in the chat, guys, or you're watching right now, please do hit the like button. It does help the channel out a huge amount to get us out to a few more people, a few more viewers, and helps to spread the word a little bit. Spread the good word. Mike says, Endorphin Pro or the Hoka Rocket X? I've got the Rocket X arriving tomorrow. I'm quite excited about that. I'm quite excited to prove that it's not the greatest carbon plated shoe, and thus I won't have to eat a shoe as I said I would do in a video. Why did I say that? That was a really silly thing to say, because when you say something like that, you've got to do it. So I'm hoping it's not going to be really good. I'm hoping it's going to be okay. We shall find out. Some people are saying it's still quite firm. That was a big issue I had really with the Carbon X. It was just a little too firm and unforgiving, and I've got to be honest, when you've got a rocker that's that pronounced, it kind of adjusts the way you run a little bit, and yeah, it gave me a little bit of knee pain, I remember before, at the start when I first got that shoe. I'm hoping it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a little bit more forgiving and light as well. That'll be good. Andy Seal says, not to worry, Ed, I made it. I ordered the Mango Vaporfly this week, and the Adios Pro is his current favourite. Awesome. Yeah, you won't go wrong with the next percent with that one, Andy. You'll enjoy that one. Chris, that running guy, says, wind. How many times have we all been out running at headwind? Yeah. How does it do it, Chris? How does it know? It seems to have some sort of compass, and it monitors where we're going. Taj is still enjoying his Rebels for intervals. He still hasn't trained in his RCs. Oh, give him a whirl, Taj. I think you'll be impressed. That's another shoe that has done incredibly well recently in the wet weather. With that, I think is it Dynaride outsole. That is really fantastic. Very, very, very pleased with that one so far. I'm just going to have a sip of my recovery drink. That's good. I feel recovered now and ready to continue. Azan says, talking about Scott Walker. Awesome. I love Scott Walker. Tilt or the drift? Oh wow, the drift is really hard going. I would perhaps recommend tilt. Both of them are pretty tough listens. If you like his sort of more modern stuff. I think probably my favourite Scott Walker album is probably Scott 3 or 4. I love the tracks on that one. It's got a beautiful vibe. Those albums are lovely, especially on vinyl as well. If you can find old copies of them, they just sound so good. Sion Roberts says greetings from Split in Croatia. Awesome. Well, I'm avoiding the Welsh lockdown for the next few weeks. Ah, okay. Yeah, of course. Wales went into a lockdown for a couple of weeks. Here on, I think it's Thursday, we go into a national lockdown again in the UK. They were trying to do these localised lockdowns. I just think it wasn't really working that well. I mean, I do about half of my work from home anyway. So if teaching was to go fully remote and online, it wouldn't be a major hassle for me. I've kind of got into a routine of being able to do those sessions now. And in some ways, because you haven't got all the messing around with masks and things like that, because everybody's at home, you get information across, I feel, to people in a slightly clearer, more concise sort of way. So certainly if you're doing certain subjects, I can imagine it being a complete nightmare if you were a school teacher trying to do that. But with higher education, uni level stuff, it's actually a lot easier to actually teach people when they've got all their gear and stuff around them, and to do it that way. So it's not dented my my abilities to teach too much. So I'm just hoping that soon some type of vaccine can be found, so we can keep those older people who are perhaps more susceptible to the virus safe, and everything else can kind of whir back into action. But we shall see. Sion says, still tipping 20 degrees here. Lovely for running. Adam Small says, had issues with his Apple Watch. Oh Adam, don't talk to me about Apple Watches. I'll tell you what, this is one of the greatest things I bought recently. My Forerunner 245. I'm loving this watch. Absolutely loving it. It's really making my training more accurate. I've got more details there to look at. Just generally, it's improved the experience. So much easier to stop this thing as well, and start it and save and all that kind of jazz. Pardon me. Adam Small says, had any issues with Apple Watch GPS and heart rate monitor? Both gone a bit haywire. Yeah, the heart rate monitor or heart rate sensor on my Apple Watch just bonkers. It would just lose it sometimes. It would suggest my heart rate was into like 185, 190 when I was doing nice slow recovery jogs and stuff like that. So yeah, I had to give that one I've had to just put it away. Joe says, us guys ran on wet leaves, and he ran in a 36C today. Oh, blimey. It was, it was cold out there today, Joe. Cold and windy. There's a bit of an issue where one area that I run through near the start of my runs, there's some trees, and I'm finding there's lots of bits flying off the trees, and occasionally I've got some stuff in my eye, which has been quite irritating. Especially at the start of a run, it really puts you off. And I've had to mess about and sort of try and get little bits of sort of bark or something out of my eye, which is not nice. The Big K says, hello from Sydney, Australia. Awesome, thanks for tuning in. And Larry Fresh is in the house in Germany. Everybody all around the world are tuning in. Glad you can join us, guys. I very much appreciate it. Larry Fresh says, saw the video about the Pegasus Shield 37 in comparison to the 36. Yeah, I've got a weird theory about those Shield shoes. I think they kind of do more, that they kind of do cause more problems perhaps than they solve. I think where you've got some shoes that are water repellent, I think if water gets into the shoe over the top, in around the opening, then it's just got nowhere to go, and you just can't get rid of it. And I think that was the main issue I had with the Pegasus 36 Shield last year or earlier this year, and it just really didn't work out well, that one. There's someone using flippers there in the comments. Steve A says, how's the heart rate on the 245 going? Has it settled down now? I found it works relatively well, Steve. I still have had some odd issues with it. I've tried getting it tighter to my wrist, and that seems to have improved things a little bit. But in the main, I've been sticking with the Polar OH1 Plus. That seems to work and give me nice and consistent results, I would say. So maybe I'll do a bit of a comparison over the course of this week using the heart rate monitor on the watch and the external one as well, and see what the results are like. That'd be quite an interesting video, perhaps. Ben Faulkner says, a high stack trend for trainers or racers, not his cup of tea. I do think the pendulum will swing back in the future, yeah. I think that people will be able to figure out the optimum stack height for some of these very squashy, compressive foams. And I think we'll be able to get down to something a little bit thinner. You know, like we've had the Pegasus Turbo, for example. I think perhaps Nike with the Vaporfly that's supposed to release next year, that could really be on the money. They could hit the nail on the head there. I think they might just get the amount of foam spot on in terms of the responsiveness, but also the compressive and cushioned underfoot feel. Leon T says, hi Ed and all, hello. Andy Seal says, shoes are tasty if cooked properly, with some fava beans and some nice Chianti. Oh yeah, I'll try that. Maybe if the Carbon, oh not Carbon X, if the Rocket X is that good, then I will be eating a shoe. Matthias says, hello. Thanks for joining us. And Ben Faulkner says he's also a fellow Gooner from California. Awesome. Nick Bashford's here. Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Nick. Not a great result earlier on for the Villa, unfortunately. Although at least they managed to make a bit of a game for it in the end. I did notice that at one point it was 4-0, but he managed to pull it back to 3-4. So, yeah, it's not the not the best result, but I'm sure they'll keep on marching forwards. Leon says, how do you calculate VO2 max using the Garmin 245? Didn't get any readings. I don't know, it just sort of does it, really. I haven't looked into that, Leon. It seems to give me this bizarre reading and says I'm some type of superhuman guy that is incredibly fit. I don't believe it for a second. I was talking to Joe about this the other day. I don't believe that the figure that it's given me of it's like 60 or something. It's just crazy. It's not right. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't think I'm that fit though. As Anne says, favourite conceptual artist. I'm not too sure really. I need some time to think about that one. Bogdan says hello and good evening. Good evening, Bogdan. What would be your best recommendation for an easy day shoe? Ooh. I've really enjoyed Easy Days in the SL20 recently and the Boston 9. I'm about 5 or 6 miles away from 100 in that one. I did see that Mike has posted his 100-mile review of the Boston 9, and I'm not going to watch it until I've done my video, and then perhaps I'll go and watch it afterwards. I've really enjoyed my experience in the Boston 9, although there's a couple of little things in terms of wear that I'm a little bit worried about. So yeah, I would say if you can pick one up, Easy Days SL20. It's just super light. You can stick it on your feet, go out and do any type of run really that you want to. If you want to do something a little faster, slower, whatever, it's ideal and great value. You got a super chat from Joe Mullin. Thanks for all your trouble on our behalf, Ed. No worries, Joe. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate your support as well. Thanks always. Let's see if we can answer a few more of the questions here. Tim Platt says, hello, I'm so late to the fantastic chat. No worries, Tim, we're glad to have you. Thanks for joining us. We took the endorphin speed out today. Big mistake given the weather. Had Walker Brothers on the earphones. Oh, the Electrician. Yeah, that's a good track. I remember a chap I used to teach with, Simon Squire. He gave me a tape copy with the Electrician on there with Scott Walker. Yeah, it was a good tune. A really good tune. Yeah, endorphin speed, I'd still say it's not the best in the wet conditions, especially on the leafy tracks we got at the moment. Jewel Ranger says, Ed, you're brilliant. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate you tuning in. Leon says, a Garmin watch is water resistant. Yeah, I've barely taken this thing off, Leon, and it's got pretty wet many times, shower and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, absolutely no problems there. Jewel Ranger says he only trusts his chest HR strap. What I found, Jewel Ranger, was that where I used the polar strap, it goes up here, and that gave me far more consistent readings, which were, I checked them basically myself just by checking my heart rate, and it was pretty much spot on every time. So I know I'm getting some consistent results there. Matthew says the watch is for apples, not humans. To Adam. You know, the Apple Watch does some good things. Maybe the newer version of the Apple Watch is a little more useful, but to me, as somebody that teaches human-computer interaction, some of the interface designs there are just really weird that Apple are using. They're not really making use of stuff like feedback that should be presented to the user when you do something. So when you press a button, when you touch something on the screen, for example, it should give you feedback quickly in a concise manner, and it just doesn't really do that. This thing is spot on for that. It just works, and I'm really pleased with it. I wish I'd kind of gone for a Garmin watch earlier, and I think I might have to get myself maybe another one at some point. We'll see. Christmas is coming, so got to make sure I paid the elves and all that sort of stuff to make the toys. Do elves make running shoes? I hadn't thought about that. And why does Father Christmas wear those big boots? Surely it's a better idea to have some nice cushioned shoes underfoot. Not something like the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro. That wouldn't be good. You need something to make him nimble enough that he can dart around the houses and stuff. Leave that one with me. That goes in the pile of running shoe YouTubers pantomime that I've been writing as well. It's going to be really good, that. Sarah Price is here. Hello Sarah, thank you for joining us on this fine Sunday evening. The little fella is doing A-OK, thank you. He's in the 98th percentile in terms of length. So he's going to be a tall chap, I think, like me. There's not actually that many people on my side of the family that are really tall. But my wife's father, he's 6'7", I think. And actually quite a lot of her side of the family are very, very tall. So her brother and stuff, her stepbrother, he's really tall. So yeah, there's some tallness there. So I think that's where he gets it from. Got the Legend React 3 recently. Oh, you're enjoying that? Awesome. I might give that one a whirl, you know, Sarah. I don't think I'll bother with the Pegasus 37 Shield. I can't do it to myself. But the Legend React Shield, I might give it a shot and see how it goes. Let me know. Send me a message or something on YouTube with some more details on that one, because I'm really keen to see how it shapes up. I've got to try to pronounce this name, guys, in the chat here. It's going to be tough. Ublit J. I'm really sorry if I'm getting that wrong. After 2 or 3 runs in the Vaporflies, really amazed me. Did a 12k run, but at some points I was really at 410 to 420. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I found with that shoe that you don't really know how fast you're running at certain points. You're going a lot faster than you think you are, which is odd. And you'll find that they are incredible in terms of they lessen fatigue as well over time, and your legs will feel better the next day. Timothy Brammer says, you made the mistake recently. Endorphin speeds pretty poor in the wet. Yeah, I've found that they weren't great on smooth surfaces. Maybe I'll have to get the sandpaper out and sort of grind them a bit to get them a bit more tactile, perhaps. Tim Platt, what's your favourite dystopian running tune? Awesome. Dystopian running tune. It's got to be the Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. Their first album is beautiful to listen to in the cold and the wet and the wind. I think the first couple of tracks is almost like wind sounds and stuff like that, so it really puts you in the mood. And yeah, it's quite a grimy sort of album, that one. So that'll be my my choice there. Robert Miller says, greetings and salutations from NJ. Are the Alphaflys your new go-to for shoe for wet weather? This did well. Wow, look at that on the camera. What is going on there? It has this weird. It's almost like it's not real. How weird is that? And when I take it away, you can see the camera sensor adjusts again, and then it goes again. This was amazing in the wet. There's not an awful lot of upper here to kind of collect the water, and there's a very minimal amount of padding around the back, around the heel there. So this was great. You got the water escaping here from the port a little bit too, and there's also some sections here which are cut out where the water can escape. So yeah, superb in the wet weather. Really, really good. It doesn't look like it's going to be from the outsole, but it works very well. Kind of looks a little bit like a tree, like the bark of a tree there. Very strange. Super light as well. Love that shoe. Love that shoe. Oh yes. We have Mr. Jemson's here. He says, hi Beast, Ed and all. Sorry for being late. It's okay. We appreciate you heading in to join us. Dylan Tan is here. He says hello. Hello Dylan. Per says, when will Ollie Solskjaer be fired? I have a feeling that he's not going to last too much longer, I don't think. After the results they've been getting, really not good. Tim Platt saying loves the Garmin. He has a Forerunner 235, but thinks the Garmin watches tend to pick up cadence rather than heart rate sometimes. Yeah, it's definitely not the figures I got certainly weren't cadence related. They were just odd. They fluctuated a lot. It's very strange. Not sure what's going on there. Tim Platt says the Glide Ride 2. Will you review? Oh yes, yeah, I get hold of the Glide Ride 2. I enjoyed the first one. It's a bit of a battle tank, that one. There was a lot of upper there. I think this time round it looks like they've tried to make it a little bit softer. So yeah, I'll definitely try that one out. I think that one might be out actually sooner rather than later. Andy Seal says, I predict the carbon plated shoes will end up doing harm to runners. 2 years from now they'll be gone. Interesting. I've been running in carbon plate shoes on and off. You know, I don't use them all the time. I like a standard shoe, no problem. In fact, I'll probably wear standard shoes more than I do the carbon plate ones. Definitely. I tend to reserve those if I'm doing speedier work or I want to imitate race conditions. But I wouldn't wear them on a daily basis. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they disappear. We'll see. Time will tell. Dylan Tan says, plan to save some money for a pair of Zero Adios Pros. For some reason they don't sell it in Singapore. It's very strange at the moment, some of the distribution of these shoes, Dylan. Makes no sense. Some places they've got loads of stock of certain things, and other places you can't find one for love nor money. Mike T is here. He says, hello Ed. Hello Mike. Hope you had a great weekend. Jewel Ranger says he's a Guna 2 in Wales and self-isolating. Oh no, oh that's not good news. They're having to self-isolate, but I hope you're okay. Hope everything is fine. Bogdan says, regarding the Garmin, it's going to be affected by sweat, hair, or any movement. Best is to get Garmin heart rate belt. Yeah, I was talking to Kev Burmaster about the heart rate belts, and he didn't like them at all. I do respect that guy a lot. He said he's gone through loads of them. They just break really quick. Yeah, the Polar works fine. Yeah, I'm getting enough data from that to know what zones that I'm in, how much effort I'm putting in certain sections of a run. I've got enough there. Yeah, VO2 max thing is bizarre. I don't know how that's working. Mike Gamba picked up a pair of the Reebok Float Ride Energy 2 for $40. That's a good price. That's a good price. I don't think I'll be able to beat the £29 that I purchased my Energy 2s with earlier in the year. I don't think I can beat that. That was a crazy price. Jewel Ranger said, oh hang on, we got Peter Donnelly is here. Jewel Ranger says, do you find that you don't check other YouTubers' reviews? Occasionally I've watched one if I'm a bit sort of umming and ahhing about whether to get the shoe in the first place. Occasionally I'll watch a review before I've done mine. But I tend to look at it from a point of view of you've got to be honest anyway. So I just kind of get the shoe on, go for a run, see how it feels. Recently I've been leaving the camera at home. I just find it kind of influences almost your mindset about the shoe. Where you're running with it. You don't concentrate on the shoe. You kind of concentrate on getting some angles and things, and that just... I didn't enjoy it as much. I didn't enjoy testing the shoes anywhere near as much when I'm fooling around with the camera sometimes. Yeah, so that's kind of why. Marco Jones says, loving the videos, keep up the good work. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying them. James, do you ever tired of running? Have you ever tried, running in compression arm sleeves? I haven't. I did toy with some a little while back. What happened? I think I ordered some and then they just didn't have them, so I couldn't get them. But I did toy with the idea. One thing I really struggle with is I get so hot when I'm running. I overheat at certain points. So I think it would be a useful thing to have, be able to wear the vest and then some arm sleeves to aid in terms of ventilation. Peter Donnelly says, hat off, Ed. Yeah, I've got the hat on because I'm cold in here. That's the main reason I'm wearing it. Steve says, jumping out the chat to read the Wonky Donkey. It's a tough read. Awesome. Jewel Ranger says, got a Garmin 945. And you can call me Drew. Oh, awesome. Sorry, Drew. The 945, I did toy with getting that rather than this one. But I thought I'd go with a slightly cheaper watch and then see how I get on with it. And then possibly in the future upgrade to another Garmin. Dries Rutten says, never wore tights before. Tonight is the first time. I'm sweating. Better go and change now. Yeah, I've got some running tights and stuff. I rarely use them unless it's petrifyingly cold. Which in the UK, it never really gets that cold. There's occasionally a couple of times where it's been like 3 or 4 degrees or something and I've used them, but I don't really like wearing them. I often just end up feeling too hot actually if I use those. Steve A says, Ed, when are you due the Fuel Cell Elite RC100 review? I think I've only done about 45 miles, maybe 50 miles at the most. Oh, they're back in stock, are they? For 160. That's a good price for that shoe. That's a good price. I can only recommend it aside from the fact that it gets very heavy in terms of moisture and water. Everything else about it is spot on. Mad Fema Fast says Father Christmas wears Hocus. Lol Monster 87, very much appreciated for the super chat with the black cat as well. The beast is there. I love it. Marco Jones says 19 miles in the Pegasus 36 today. Still his favourite long run or daily shoe. Yeah, the 36 was way better than the 37. I still preferred the 35 over all of them though. Just really like the upper on that. Just felt like a warm hug around your foot. Really nice. Drew says, yeah, well, there's some height to my family. Yeah, they are very tall. It's a tall family. Leon says, don't think you need specific shoes for wet conditions. You can use normal shoes that have good grip. Yeah, a lot of the shoes that I've been mentioning, Leon, are just good shoes with good grip. They work. I mean, the Adizero Pro, again, really great in the wet conditions. You got the quick strike here and the Continental stuff up front. It just works really well, so can't lose with those. Adam Small says there's an Infinity Rack Shield coming out. Is there? I hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen that yet. Ali says, is it a waste of money buying a Vaporfly Next Percent for training only? It runs 15 kilometers every other day. Currently using the Turbo 2. Yeah, for a 15k, I don't know. I think you get some benefit in terms of perhaps fatigue lessening sort of benefits there, but the Turbo 2 is still a great shoe. But you'll soon rack up some miles if you're doing 15k every other day. Jim says he loved everything about the 1080 V10 except the midsole lost its spring. Yeah, I found it was quite condition dependent. Some days it would feel great and some days it would feel a little bit dead. In terms of fresh foam, the Beacon lasted a little longer than that. The Beacon 3 though, I'm not set on that. That gave me awful blisters actually, the Beacon 3. Still a shoe I need to get some more miles in, try and clear the decks a little bit before Christmas. Drew says he definitely needs some wet snow winter running shoes. I'm not sure about wet or snow. Snow's a different story altogether. If anybody's got any suggestions, please put it in the chat for Drew. Yeah, Marco Jones says the Adidas shoes in wet weather, best grip. I thoroughly agree with you. They are very good in wet weather. I'm sorry, there's a chat. I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, so it's Ubelche. I'm not sure. He says, hi Ed, how many days a week do you intend to run? You have certain days for training. Yeah. Well, what I'll do is, at the moment, I haven't been really having a rest day. I'll just go and do a really easy effort. 3 miles, just super easy pace. Keeping the heart rate like 125, something like that. Just really, I hate to use the phrase, Seth DeMore says it, but it fits so well. Just bopping along. Really, really easy. And then I'll put certain days aside for speed and then a longer effort later in the week. This week I'd done a couple of harder speed sessions, so rather than do the longer run, I decided I'd do some more miles at a threshold pace, which was today. So working on that aerobic base. Ben Wise here says, hello peeps, hello. Jacob Rees, Guernsey Park Run is up and running again. Awesome, that's good to hear. There's absolutely zero chance of anything like that here, Jacob, but I'm glad that one's back again. Ben Wise says, any tips on how to tackle a hill that gets steeper at the top? Consistent speed. Hang on, Joe, one of your comments has been, for some reason, censored, and there's nothing wrong with it. tackle a hill that gets steeper at the top. So I always tend to increase cadence, make sure that arm's swinging, keep those arms swinging nice and fast, and yeah, I try not to slow down. Maybe a little lean forward, not too much though, and just keeping that form good. Yeah, hills are one of those things you've just got to practice in training a lot, and then you start to really relish the challenge. You start to really enjoy them. Oh, Drew, that's sad to hear. I hope you guys recover ASAP. Okay guys, I'm going to draw this one to a close in about 5 minutes, so a little bit earlier, so I can assist with other stuff that's going on in the house. I hope you understand. Bogdan says, regarding the Garmin HR belt, he does about 2,500 to 3,000 kilometers a year, and the belt is good for about 1.5 to 2 years. Okay, that's some good info. Thank you, Bogdan. Tim Platt, yes, we do have plans for merchandise. What I'm doing at the moment is I am waiting a little bit, Tim. I feel it's a little bit, I don't know what the word is. I wouldn't say insensitive, but I just feel a little bit weird about doing it right now, especially with this lockdown that's just reoccurred in the UK. And I know lots of people are really struggling in terms of money and their jobs and things like that. Lots of people are out of work, and it's just one of those times, you know. I was a little bit amazed, you know, where I know Seth's thinking about doing this subscriber kind of thing, channel membership sort of thing, but I just don't think it's the right time for me to do anything like that right now. So I'm just going to keep on smashing out some good videos for you guys for the time being, and then hopefully once things start to pick up a little bit, I think I'll get that merchandise on the go. Chris says he got his Reebok Energy 2s for 20 quid from eBay. Amazing. That is a good price. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, Taj, I think that carbon plate shoes are great, but I think it's really good to use standard shoes during training too, so that we're constantly working on all the different muscles in the foot and giving the foot a good workout. I think it's really important to rotate a lot, to make sure that those certain muscles in the foot aren't getting lazy. I absolutely agree with you. Christos says, please keep being accessible as I am. Awesome. And thanks so much for tuning in from Greece. And he's liking the music comments. Yeah, I had one person the other day said that they really didn't like the musical interludes. And I was a bit like, but that's the only person that's ever said it. So, I don't know. I'll keep on doing it. Any plans for winter wear favourites video? Yep, coming up probably next week actually. It'll be not this week because I've got a load of stuff arriving that I want to test. So, probably next week. Kevin Bickerton says, with what one shoe manufacturer would you like to be let loose in their design department? Ooh. Adidas. I'd love to do my own version of the Adizero Adios Pro. I'd really like that. Roger L says the soft heel causes pronation issues for him in the RC. Yeah, I can understand that. It's very soft back there in the heel. Let's just give a couple of shout outs here before I disappear. Steve A, do you have a recommendation for a light energy return foam trail shoe with great traction? Gotta be the Innovate Terra Ultra G270. One of the most comfortable shoes, Steve, that I've worn all year, and it's a trail shoe and it's got super traction. So check that one out, it's a great shoe. Right guys, I'm going to have to draw it to a close here. Thanks all of you for tuning in. Mariella, Joe Reeve, he says 5k PB. I think that my 5k PB is 1945, I think it was. But that was some time back. If I rested up and did one now, I'd probably be able to knock a little bit off that. So, favourite wet weather shoe, Mariella? I'd say at the moment my favourite wet weather shoe has got to be the Meta Racer from Asics. Superb grip, and it is, well, it's not really an awful lot of upper there to soak up the water, so that's my favourite one. Right guys, have a fantastic evening or day or whatever time it is there. Thanks for tuning in, I really do appreciate it. If you're in the chat and you haven't done so already, do hit that like button. It really does help the channel out to get us out to more people. Please stay safe everybody, and I shall catch you in the next video. See you soon. My name's EDDBUD.